Hey guys, I just got back from Chile and Peru after a little short trip, and I'm actually back in Bogota, Colombia now in my home base. And today I wanted to talk about designing the ideal life for you. We have all these visions and ideas of what we want out of life, but no one actually tells us how to get it. And this is something that no one really gave me the blueprint for when I was in my 20s or near there in my 30s. And this was really a combination of trying to figure it out myself and doing all the things wrong. So today we're gonna go over the simple, foolproof plan in order to design the ideal life for you in 4 simple parts: your vision, your systems and habits, time, and avoiding the common pit traps that most people fall into. If you're new to this channel, I talk about lifestyle design. Lifestyle design is our ability to actually put systems and habits in place so that we can design our ideal lifestyle. So the first piece is your vision. How do you actually envision your life? If I was to ask you today, what is your 5-year plan? What is your 10-year plan? How do you envision your day-to-day to actually look like in your ideal life? What are you actually doing? Who are you spending time with? And that's gonna be different for everyone. Everyone has their own personal definition of success. Everyone has their own personal definition of what a good life is. Some people want a simple life. Some people want a life full of money, status, and fame. And some people just want to go out into the cabin and be self-sustaining and exit society. Maybe that's their ideal life. But to ask yourself that question is super important, because if you don't know where you're headed, you're not gonna be able to have any plan to actually get there. So the next piece of the puzzle is perhaps the most important, and that's really the systems and habits that you're going to build and create and to enable in your own life in order to bring you from today to your ideal life. Systems and habits are the daily, weekly, monthly, yearly actions that you're gonna be taking every single day, and you're gonna be formulating these as you're trying to reach your vision so that you have an executable plan to bring you to your ideal life. If my goal was to actually stay fit, stay strong, and be someone that is able to take care of the people around me, I'm gonna be developing the habit of going to the gym, of lifting weights, of building strength. And one of my systems is going to be actually preparing all my gym clothes so that I don't have to think about it the morning of when I need to grab my gym bag and go to the gym. So ask yourself these questions. What are the skill sets that I need to enable? Who are the people that I need to talk to? What are the systems that I need to put in place? How do I actually enable my environment around me so that I can reach my goal faster? What are the 80-20 principles and the things that are going to deliver me the most results over the long run in my personal goals? Perhaps one of the biggest reasons why people fail is because they don't factor in time into the equation. Time is one of the most crucial factors because it allows your systems and habits to actually compound, to actually have this snowball effect where your skills and the things that you're learning are compounding and rolling on top of each other, just like a snowball down the hill, so that you can get to your ideal version of yourself and your ideal life. And you're gonna fail along the way. And I would be lying to you if say that you're not gonna fail and you're gonna find overnight success. Overnight success is a lie. People that show you that on social media are not showing you the years and the decades of all the work that they put in before they actually was able to achieve success, and show you a highlight reel of like a 1-minute clip of them climbing the Kilimanjaro. But the reality is you're gonna fail a lot. And I understand that everyone has a different timeline, and to be able to actually factor in where you are right now. Are you in your 20s and 30s? You're young and you have full of energy, and you have to factor in things like relationships. You have to factor in things like where my career needs to be or where you want it to be, and whether or not you're gonna have a family, whether or not you're gonna have a kid. All these things are part of the equation, and juggle that and to realize, understand that different parts of my life, there's gonna be a slowdown, and there's gonna be parts of the life when I can actually speed up and use my youth and my youthful energy in order to bring me closer to my ideal life. Because doing things when you're in your 20s and 30s is gonna be different than doing some things in your 50s and 60s. You might want to travel when you're younger in your 20s and 30s because you have the time and energy, and perhaps you're starting to earn a little bit more money, versus maybe in your 60s to 70s, your knees are bad, maybe your back is tired, and maybe you don't want to do a lot of the things. Maybe you don't want to go scuba diving for the first time when you're 75, and maybe you want to do that in your 30s. I'm going to tell you that time matters and your timing matters. And when you're creating your plan for your ideal life, you should be asking the questions of yourself, like, what is my 5-year plan? What is my 10-year plan? What can I do right now? And what do I actually want to be able to achieve by a certain amount of time, and be able to have some flexibility, because as you fluctuate throughout your age and your time, your goals are going to differ. They're going to change a little bit. You're going to have to give some flexibility to it, right? You're going to have to be able to adapt to the nature of the beast, so to speak. And the fourth and final piece of this equation is really the complete opposite of what you should be doing, but what you should be avoiding. And I see this with a lot of people in trying to actually reach their goals. And personally, I understand that it's so easy to fall off the wagon. Some of the things that you should be avoiding that a lot of people do is wasting their time dealing with addictions, right? Being addicted to video game, addicted to pornography, wasting time on goals and on people in relationships that are actually detrimental to your ideal life, and being able to actually find and fine-tune your sense of self to be able to say, this is not serving me and my plan. My ideal vision for my life is X, and wasting time on consumerism, on spending all my money on buying things that are useless in order to impress people that I don't care for is going to detract from my ultimate vision. And to be able to be aware and to be able to be cognizant of who you are and what your values are and what your ideals are and your principles are going to be able to give you the strength in order to do what other people won't do. And these things come in many different forms. It can be a form of escapism. It could be a coping mechanism. It can be addictions in order to forget about the things that we aren't actually accomplishing in our life. And when you take a switch in your brain and be like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm going to move away from what everyone else is doing and the common pit traps and the common mistakes that most people do. And I'm gonna move into my ideal life, and I'm gonna actually enact and pretend to live that life until it is actually natural to me. I'm going to read more. I'm going to produce more instead of consuming all the time. I'm gonna not follow the latest trends on Netflix and Amazon Prime and all those things, and be like, hey, I'm gonna use my time productively. I'm gonna actually create something. I'm going to actually put something out into the world so that I can be judged, so that I can actually be criticized, in order to improve and to learn new skills, and to maybe go scuba diving, maybe go learn pottery, or maybe go take some classes in dance, right? All those things that I said I was gonna put off until the future, right? And that future state never exists because we're not actually gonna do it, because time flies by so fast. What are my plans? What are my systems and habits that I'm gonna be putting in place so that I can avoid the common pit traps that most people make? Sometimes it's not about doing, but it's actually avoiding the things that you shouldn't be doing. That's gonna get you to your ideal version of yourself. So in summary, the 4 pieces in order to bring you from where you are today to your ideal life is: 1, to have your vision; 2, to actually develop the systems and habits so that you can actually get to where you need to go; and 3, you need to allow time to compound and to snowball; and 4 is to avoid the common mistakes that most people are making. If you like that video and you got value out of it, please make sure to drop a like and also drop a comment. I want to hear from you guys what you guys think about this plan, and whether or not you can actually see yourself using this plan in order to reach your own ideal life. Peace.